Hello and welcome to another episode of Soap Goes to the Oscars. Forgive me, Oscar, for I have sinned. It's been 3 weeks since the last movie I watched. It's been a busy time, but I'm going to try to get back into it. And I'm sure the holidays will mess things up as I'm recording this on November 30th, 2024. This is episode 52, which means I have a full year of movies watched if I post these once a week. Finally got there. This time, the movie I watched was called Top Hat. We're still in the 1935 Oscars, and this was a rental from Amazon. It was $3.99. Got it for $2.64 because I had some digital credits, but $4 is about the average for the movies on there. And right now, my average for this round of movies is $4.91, so about $5 a movie for what I've watched. Not terrible. That's partly because one of them was $13 DVD I had to buy. Ugh. So anyway, this one, there's a lot of Wikipedia information about this movie. So I'm obviously not going to read it all, but there are a few things I saw that were kind of interesting. So I will read a little bit there and then give you my thoughts. So Top Hat is a 1935 American musical screwball comedy film in which Fred Astaire plays an American tap dancer named Jerry Travers, who comes to London to star in a show produced by Horace Hardwick. He meets and attempts to impress Dale Tremont, Ginger Rogers, to win her affection. The film also features Eric Blore as Hardwick's valet Bates, Eric Rhodes as Alberto Bedini, a fashion designer and rival for Dale's affections, and Helen Broderick as Hardwick's long-suffering wife, Madge. And I didn't say Hardwick. Horace Hardwick was played by Edward Everett Horton. The film was directed by Mark Sandrich. It was written by Alan Scott and Dwight Taylor, with songs by Irving Berlin, Top Hat, White Tie and Tails, and Cheek to Cheek that become American song classics. Astaire and Rogers made 9 films together at RKO Pictures, including The Great Gay Divorcee, Roberta, Top Hat, Follow the Fleet, Swing Time, Shall We Dance, and Carefree. Top Hat was the most successful picture of Astaire and Rogers' partnership, and Astaire's second most successful picture after Easter Parade, achieving second place in worldwide box office receipts for 1935. While some dance critics maintain that Swing Time contained a finer set of dances, Top Hat remains to this day the partnership's best-known work. It's kind of funny because I had not actually heard of this one. I guess what I say doesn't really matter, but Top Hat was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry in its second year, 1990, as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Also been recognized by the American Film Institute on various lists commemorating the best of American cinema. Film appeared on their list of the 25 greatest film musicals at number 15. Cheek to Cheek appeared on their list of 100 greatest songs of American cinema, also at number 15. It's based on a Scandal in Budapest play, 1911 play by Alexander Fargo and Aladar Laszlo, edited by William Hamilton, music Irving Berlin, production company and distributor RKO Radio Pictures, released on August 29th, 1935, and it's 101 minutes. So the plot... I don't usually read too much of this, but I will in this case because it kind of goes into my thoughts about it. American dancer Jerry Travers comes to London to star in a show produced by the bumbling Horace Hardwick. While practicing a tap dance routine in his hotel room, he awakens Dale Tremont on the floor below. She storms upstairs to complain, whereupon Jerry falls hopelessly in love with her and proceeds to pursue her all over London. Dale mistakes Jerry for Horace, who is married to her friend Madge. Following the success of Jerry's opening night in London, Jerry follows Dale to Venice, where she is visiting Madge and modeling/promoting the gowns created by Alberto Bedini, a dandified Italian fashion designer with a penchant for malapropisms. Jerry proposes to Dale, who, while still believing that Jerry is Horace, is disgusted that her friend's husband could behave in such a manner and agrees instead to marry Alberto. Fortunately, Bates, Horace's meddling English valet, disguises himself, spoilers, as a priest and conducts the ceremony. Horace had sent Bates to keep tabs on Dale. On a trip in a gondola, Jerry manages to convince Dale, and they return to the hotel where the previous confusion is rapidly cleared up. The reconciled couple dance off into the Venetian sunset to the tune Piccolino. So, like I said, there's a lot of information in here on Wikipedia: script development, musical score and orientation, set design, wardrobe. The feathers incident is what I'm going to read just because I thought it was kind of funny. Although Bernard Newman was nominally in charge of dressing the stars, Roger was keenly interested in dress design and makeup. For the cheek-to-cheek routine, she was determined to use her own creation. I was determined to wear this dress come hell or high water, and why not? It moved beautifully. Obviously, no one in the cast or crew was willing to take sides, particularly not my side. This was all right with me. I'd had to stand alone before. At least my mother was there to support me in the confrontation with the entire front office, plus Fred Astaire and Mark Sandrich. Due to the enormous labor involved in sewing each ostrich feather to the dress, Astaire, who normally approved his partner's gowns and suggested modifications if necessary during rehearsals, saw the dress for the first time on the day of the shoot and was horrified at the way it shed clouds of feathers at every twist and turn, recalling later, "It was like a chicken attacked by a coyote. I never saw so many feathers in my life." According to the choreographer, Hermes Pan, Astaire lost his temper and yelled at Rogers, who promptly burst into tears, whereupon her mother, Leela, came charging at him like a mother rhinoceros protecting her young. An additional night's work by seamstresses resolved much of the problem. However, careful examination of the dance on film reveals feathers floating around Astaire and Rogers and lying on the dance floor. Later, Astaire and Pan presented Rogers with a gold feather for her charm bracelet and serenaded her with a ditty parodying Berlin's tune. Feathers, I hate feathers, and I hate them so that I can hardly speak, and I never find the happiness I seek with those chicken feathers dancing cheek to cheek. Thereafter, Astaire nicknamed Rogers Feathers, also a title of one of the chapters in his autobiography, and parodied his experience in a song and dance routine with Judy Garland in Easter Parade. Anyway, thought that was a fun story. Lots and lots and lots of other stuff here. Part of the reason I wanted to read that, as I was reading, I realized that I do remember in the scene when they were dancing to Cheek, that I did see the feathers, but didn't know what they were. I just saw like glimpses of something floating in the air, and at the time I really didn't think anything of it, but I noticed it. So then reading that, I was like, oh, okay, ostrich feathers. Anyway, I like this. It was good. I can't say that I wasn't distracted a little bit at times, going on my phone when I shouldn't be, but it was fun. It had a few very funny moments. There was a scene between Dale and Madge, Horace's wife. It was very funny. The only thing I would criticize is that the confusion about Jerry being Horace, with Dale thinking that Jerry was Horace, went on a little bit too long. It basically wasn't resolved until right at the end. Within the last 15 to 20 minutes of the movie. And so, that went on for a very long time, and it just got to be a little repetitive, and, made for some funny scenes, but probably could have been slimmed down a little bit, maybe. But overall, it was good. At first, I didn't really like Fred Astaire in it. I'm not sure why. He was fine in the end, obviously. It's just funny that even back then that there was big disparities in age. He was about 36 and Rogers was about 24. So even back then they were putting much younger women with the guys. But yeah, this one not bad. As far as best picture, so far I've watched Alice Adams, Ruggles of Red Gap, The Informer, and Top Hat. I did not like The Informer. I think I did like Ruggles of Red Gap. I gave Ruggles of Red Gap 3.5. I gave this one 3, but they're probably about even. The Informer, pretty sure I gave pretty low. Informer, I gave 2. And Alice Adams, I think I gave 2.5. That one I didn't love either. Not my favorite round of movies so far, though I did like 2 of the 4 that I've watched. There's, not necessarily top of the list for me. But we'll see how the rest of it goes. There's still 8 more movies to watch in this round, so still a lot to go, and we'll see how the next one is. See you next time. I did want to just add one last thing. I just got a new cover for my microphone to help me with popping my peas while recording. So I put this thing on. This is the first time I've recorded with it. And it has sort of a chemically type of smell. And I have to get real close to the microphone. My lips are basically touching this thing and I'm breathing it in. And so throughout this recording for Top Hat, I was choking and like not able to, I'm still doing it, not able to catch my breath sometimes because of it. And I did cut several of those parts out, but there are a few in there that you may still be able to catch throughout. It was kind of funny listening. I probably should have left them in, but it would have just been weird without this explanation. So there you go. Maybe hopefully next time some of this, whatever this smell is, will go away before I record again. Later.